It's the EPCOT festival that will never end.
It's time for Food and Wine Part 2. Hey everybody, it's Molly and Alan and we're back at the Food and Wine Festival.
That's right, we're gonna hit some of the new booths that opened up today, some of the booths we skipped last time, and see if any of our worst of the fest booths can redeem themselves.
So let's go, because I need a pork slider.
Making a quick pit stop in the creation shop because just like last time, we're working with a budget, but to make it even more of a challenge, we've dropped the budget to $50 per person. We're gonna see how far that gets us today at Food and Wine. We are starting Food and Wine round 2 here in this little courtyard near Test Track because it's got 2 of the new booths that just opened up today. The first one we're enjoying is Coastal Eats. And this is a baked scampi dip. It's got shrimp, scallops, and it comes with a baguette. The chef said it's one of her favorite things at the entire festival. It looks very good to me.
It does look good. I have some reservations about a hot shrimp dip on a hot tortilla.
That is true.
I mean, I'm excited to try it though. Shall we do the dip?
Yeah.
Here, you go first.
I don't think there's enough. Oh my gosh, look at all
Whoa.
buttery, cheesy goodness.
That was actually unexpected. Wow.
Spinach in this? This looks amazing.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, wait a minute.
Whoa, baby, I am happy to have a sweat stash for that any day.
That was surprisingly good, especially in the heat.
Incredibly garlicky, incredibly buttery. There's definitely some Parmesan going on. They put fresh panko on top as we ordered it.
And for $6, you are getting so much seafood.
Yeah, each bite has a little scallop guy in there.
And I'm actually not a big fan of seafood in general. It tends to be, when prepared poorly, it tends to be fishy. This is not. And that might be by virtue of all of the seasonings and flavors that you have, but it is really, really tasty.
I wish there was a little more baguette because there seems to be more dip than baguette, but I'd say for $6, a great dish and going on Molly's Best of the Fest Part 2, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
We're kicking it off strong.
Wow. Next up on the list, we have Mac and Eats, and we've opted for 2 dishes here. On the right-hand side, we have the Cowboy Mac and Cheese. It is smoked pork belly, brisket burnt ends, pickled peppers, onion straws, and a barbecue aioli. I'm actually really excited about that.
Sounds pretty good.
And then on the left, we have the chili cheese macaroni and cheese with sour cream and cheddar cheese. Now, this is the fully vegan option. So the chili cheese has some pretty hefty air quotes around it.
Same with sour cream.
Oh, yeah. Same with sour cream.
We are opting to try the plant-based one first. It looks like it's got a good amount of beans, and then again, some chili on there, some plant-based cheese and sour cream. Fritos. I love Fritos on things. Now,
Sounds like a healthy bite.
The plant-based booth, we can't eat at because Alan does have an allergy there, but we figured we'd try this other plant-based option. I'm pretty excited to see what it's like.
Yeah. Cheers. Huh.
I'm surprised.
Right off the bat, the texture of the chili is not off-putting. So normally my complaint about vegan foods is that the meat substitutes are not texturally the same, and here it is not noticeable. In fact, I would say that if I don't think too hard about it, I couldn't tell the difference. The flavors are very, very nice. Chili powder, cumin, paprika are the stars, and they are there in full effect too.
Yeah, the only thing I'm not loving is the plant-based cheddar, and I think that's just because I love real cheese so much. I can very easily detect when it is a cheese substitute. However, the chili is really full of flavor. The noodles are nice and buttery. I love the crunch from the Frito. I think if you're a plant-based eater, this is a really fun dish. I would sign off on this one for sure.
Next up is the Cowboy Mac and Cheese, so let's get some of that brisket.
I'm very excited about the onion straws because I like when mac and cheese has a crunch.
Are you able to find the pickled veggies?
They're in there. They're hiding.
All right, we'll work it out.
Cheers.
Okay. First and foremost, that brisket is actually pretty good quality. I always get really worried when anybody makes that amount of a dish that's supposed to take a lot of time and effort in mass. That always worries me. This is just fatty enough, just meaty enough to actually be a good combo, especially when I know they're cranking out a lot of this dish.
It's definitely on the chewier side, but I think it works okay with the mac and cheese. There's actually a little bit of spice too, which I'm enjoying. Whatever rub is on the meat as well as those pickled vegetables is giving it a little bit of heat, which balances nicely with the sweeter barbecue sauce. I think this is a fair dish if you are looking for something that is hearty and substantial. It could be a pretty good snack or even a light meal. I'm actually surprised because when it comes to this dish, I'm normally a brisket fan over pork belly. I actually prefer the pork belly.
Oh.
I think the brisket's a little on the chewier side for me.
That's fair.
I am going to say, though, neither one of these crack my best of the fest. I think there's more unique and more exciting things that you can try than mac and cheese.
I think if you want a barbecue dish, this is good, but I would frankly prefer Flavors of Fire over this.
I agree that cheese chip dish is much better, but I would like to point out both of these and the other mac and cheese are part of a meals fromage montage, so you can count towards your cheese prize that way. He literally left me. I was just trying to take some B-roll, and he's literally up ordering. He's already placed the order. We have decided to go Canada way first, which is the opposite way that we normally recommend doing EPCOT because someone couldn't wait any longer to go to the Hawaii booth.
I have no regrets.
I'm not mad either. This is one of the best booths every year, and it's because of this baby right here. This is the Kahlua pork slider. It's got sweet and sour pineapple chutney. It's got spicy mayonnaise on it, and that amazing Hawaiian pork on a little Hawaiian roll. A returning favorite for both of us. And then I'm gonna butcher how to pronounce this, so.
This is Spam Musubi Nigiri with sushi rice, teriyaki glazed spam, spicy mayonnaise, eel sauce wrapped in nori, which is just seaweed, dried seaweed.
I've never had such a concoction. I'm not 100% sure I've eaten spam before.
It's a trip.
So it looks interesting. It's basically sushi made with spam.
Yes.
Okay, I like spicy mayonnaise, so we'll start there.
Oh my God.
Worth the wait?
So good. So what makes this incredible is not just because it's on a beautiful sort of sweet roll. They have very clearly cooked that pork low and slow for a very long period of time. If I remember correctly, it is cooked with pineapple juice.
Yeah, it's in the Food and Wine Cookbook. We could put that one on Instagram or on our Discord. There's this wonderful saltiness to the pork that's balanced by the sweetness of the roll and the pineapple chutney. Tiniest bit of heat from that spicy mayonnaise. That's a best of the fest for me every year, and this year remains the same.
It is just a perfectly prepared dish. It has all the elements that you want. It's salty, spicy, sweet, and the meat is not dry. And that's just a perfectly balanced meal. Sweet, salty, a little bit spicy, moist meat.
Moist meat. I hate that you said that.
Made my best of the fest. Easy. No
Shocking.
question.
Shocking.
Cheers.
Nope.
We struggled with the portion size?
Yeah, the flavors are very, very good. It's definitely balanced. It's got a little spicy. It's got salty from the meat, the nice sticky rice. But like, I popped that whole thing and I was too much.
Which is, to be fair, that is not how Spam Musubi is normally prepped. It's normally prepped as kind of a brick or a sandwich, where it's nori as a base layer, sushi rice, Spam, sushi rice again, and then it's wrapped.
Oh, that's
so you normally are able to portion out your bites a little bit better.
Yeah, I think really good flavor, something definitely more unique and interesting, but the pork slider's the winner.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
We're now making a stop at Shimmering Sips, which is not a new booth as of today. We stopped here last time to get the redemption prize from the fromage montage, and we talked about how the mimosas here are not the ratio of juice to champagne we like. We're more of like I'm like an butterfly's wing flap amount of juice, and this is quite the opposite. But when reviewing the menus, I did notice they had a drink that seems a little bit more up my alley.
And this is what it is. It is a berry sour ale mimosa from Boulevard Brewing Company. It's a berry noir sour ale with a little bit of sparkling wine sprinkled in. You? Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
I was going to give it to you.
Pinky's out. Oh, now that's lovely. That is nice. The reason that I was into this one is because it's a beer and champagne. There's no juice, just alcohol.
It's very refreshing. If you like sours, this will be right up your alley. The champagne cuts just enough of the sour out.
Adds a little bit of bubble. Mm-hmm. That is really good. And normally, we said this in the last video, I don't recommend getting drinks at the booths. I always recommend getting beer and wine and things like in the permanent locations. I would make an exception for this.
Oh, for sure. Fully agree.
This next booth is Earth Eats. We skipped it last time because I have an allergy to pine nuts and pesto is on the menu.
but I figured we'd try a drink this round, so we'll get that.
This is the Strawberry Freeze, which has Twinings, lemon, and ginger herbal tea in it, and it's like a strawberry slush. This is the non-alcoholic version. You can get an alcoholic version that's got Kettle One, botanical, cucumber, and mint vodka in it, which does sound delish. Look at that straw placement. That's nice. However, we are going to mix it up and try it without alcohol. One, because we're on a budget. Two, because, you know, so not everyone wants to drink alcohol. So let's see if this is a treat worth your dollars.
Wow. That's... Yeah, hold on. That's really good. Here, you should try it.
Oh, that is refreshing.
Yeah, I thought right off the bat it was going to be too sweet, but then the tea kicks in, and it's amazing.
You guys know I've said it for a long time. I don't like super sugary, artificially sweet things, and this doesn't taste super sugary. It tastes like real strawberry, and it's not super sweet, but it's definitely nice on a hot day. I think it'd be very good with the vodka, but I think it would not be enough vodka to be worth the like $11.
I mean, that is, on a hot day like today, honestly, I'd pick that over almost anything.
Lovely. This is going to be our first redemption booth because we skipped this one last time as they brought the same signature item as last year, and last year it was the most underwhelming dish I had, and I was very sad about it. But a lot of you in the comments said I must have gotten a bad serving because it's delicious. So we're going to give the braised beef poutine a shot this year. Here it is, the braised beef poutine. It is French fries with boursin, garlic and herb cheese, a cheese sauce made out of that as well. It's got cheese curds on it, braised beef, and gherkin relish. I like all of these things. I love potatoes, I like beef, I love boursin cheese. But again, last year it was really a letdown. And I hope this year it can redeem itself. I mean, that is yummy looking beef at least. Get a French fry. I do like Disney's French fries. They're kind of the McDonald's style where they're like the skinny fry, which is my preferred shape of fry. Did you get cheese curd?
I didn't get cheese curd. Hold on. No, I had cheese curd.
Cheers.
I don't know what you ate that made you not like it. You were wrong.
Yeah, that's delicious. Thank you to the commenters who told us to give it another try.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten to eat it.
This is phenomenal. I don't know what was going on last year. It was too dry. Maybe I'd had one that wasn't freshly made because they were making this to order when we got it. Oh man, there's so much. I also think the proportion of potato to meat was off last year. This is a big hunk of delicious braised beef and a lot of fries.
The meat is tender. It is juicy. It is none of the dryness that comes with overcooked pot roast style meat. The fries are incredible. The boursin and cheese curd. Oh.
Jimmy!
My only complaint is I like the boursin more than the cheese curds. I wish they had replaced the cheese curds with just more boursin. But honestly, congratulations, Poutine. You've redeemed yourself.
And totally redeem yourself!
You know, we've already hit our hot fish bowl quota for the day, so we decided to opt for dessert in Ireland.
And we went with the warm chocolate pudding cake with the Irish cream liqueur.
Yeah, it's got like an Irish cream, like a Bailey's custard on a hot cake.
That actually sounds really good.
I'm very excited. Look at that. It is gooey, warm cake. Custard on there. It smells really rich and chocolatey. Cheers. Cake cheers.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. I have the most mild allergy to chocolate of all time, where if I eat something really rich and chocolatey, I sneeze. My mom and grandma do the same thing.
That's how you know it's real chocolate.
Anyway, it is very rich and chocolatey. It's a little bit too rich and dense for me, especially in this heat, but if you're a chocoholic, this is going to be a dessert for you.
Absolutely. And the cream on top of it actually adds to that richness as well. So again, very, very rich, pretty heavy. Maybe not on a scorcher. Maybe later on in the evening, this is a good bite.
Yeah, I'm still going to give the dessert win to the carrot cake and the American Adventure.
Oh, absolutely. Because you're eating vegetables.
Healthy. Oh, look. The harmonious fountains are running. That makes the barges worth it.
Does it, though? This is interstitial B-roll as we walk into Morocco, going to Belgium for some beer.
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 What a good, we didn't plan that.
That's really nice.
And in the distance, making her way ever so slowly, ensuring to not drop the beer, we have the influencer, making her way to enjoy a refreshing beverage. Ah, yes, the natural habitat. Beautiful.
Good for you. You didn't drop it.
I didn't drop it and I didn't spill.
Well
Just
done.
a little, don't look at it.
I will not look
Don't
at
pay
it as I pan immediately over to it. Welcome back to your regularly scheduled Food and Wine Light Post adventures. Here we have left to, is this left to right or no?
No, that's the red one.
Okay, got it.
I know you're colorblind, but that's red.
Oh, that's, wow. Wow, I feel targeted. Okay, moving left to right, we have the Delirium Red Fruit Ale, the Belgian Abbey Ale, and the St. Bernardist Wit Beer, which is a wheat beer. I'm really looking forward to all of these, actually.
I originally wrote down beef and mashed potatoes in Belgium, but it is so hot that I looked at what we'd written down. I looked at our budget and we had a few dollars to spare, so we upgraded from hot beef to cold beer.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, wow, yeah.
This tastes a little bit like cough medicine.
Oh. Please let me try it. You're selling it so much.
Yeah.
That's going to be a no from me, dog.
A little bit like Robitussin.
That does have Robitussin vibes. This, however, this is the wit beer. Wit beers are my favorite kind of beer. I like wheat. It reminds me of a Hoegaarden, if you've ever had a Hoegaarden, which I believe is also a Belgian beer. And it reminds me of a Blue Moon, but lighter. So it's actually perfect for a hot day like today. It's got that fruity flavor. It's almost got some citrus notes going. Mm-hmm. I could drink a whole one of these for sure.
The Abbey Ale is just a tad darker. A little bit of light sort of toffee flavor that is mixed in with some of the fruit. It's hazy, so it's unfiltered, but it is very, very light and refreshing.
Yeah, this is an A+ beer flight. This is my favorite.
Well, except for the Robitussin.
You're right. I blacked out because this one was so good. Never mind. I was gonna say this is the best alcohol we've had today, but it's not.
Cherry, artificial cherry.
Yeah, that's the worst beer I've tried at this festival, but this one is the best. So you win some, you lose some.
We trade? We have a long trek from Morocco to Italy before we hit our next booth. So
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about?
Well, all the booths that are in the path were bangers last time, so we don't need them to redeem themselves.
Right.
But I have a question for you.
All right, hit me.
Would you rather fight 100 bee-sized horses or one horse-sized bee? Like
Am I
tiny
armed
horses.
or is this unarmed
You
combat?
are unarmed.
So I have to flail about.
Yeah.
I think that it would 100% be the 100 horse-sized bees. It's because I can just kick them. They can't fly.
Yes, they can. They're bees.
No, they're
they're
100
horses.
bee-sized horses is what you
So
said.
you're right. So they're just running. So you can just step
They're
on all
ants.
of them.
I am the jolly green giant in real life against these creatures.
Right, whereas the horse-sized bee
It's a terrifying bit of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I think the proximity to water is very important in this question because if you're attacked by bees, they say to jump in water. So if I'm like in a forest inhabited by tiny horses, I hope there's like a pond in there. Honestly, I have more confidence in my ability to fight this giant creature than I do eating at the Italy booth.
I actually agree with you.
That's right, friends. We're eating at the Italy booth. Despite being one of the worst booths every festival, I don't know what's going on because food in the Italy Pavilion is amazing, and for some reason, the booths almost always let us down.
So with that glowing introduction, we're going with the gnocchi di patate, which is potato dumplings, which is gnocchi with 4 cheese sauce and some roasted cremini mushrooms.
I love mushrooms.
I think I like gnocchi.
Let's try it. Cheers. It's not the worst thing I've eaten in Italy.
I'm sorry, have you had gnocchi before?
Yes, that should tell you how low the bar was.
Oh, got it.
It's fine. It's very chewy. There's not a ton of flavor in the sauce, and the sauce is very watery. The mushrooms are the saving grace. The roasted mushrooms.
Oh, that I agree with for sure. That I agree with. Those are actually, if there's one redeeming quality of this meal, it is the mushrooms. The gnocchi, which is supposed to have a really nice texture.
Also, the mushroom's cold. The problem is, too, this was $9. This is one of the most expensive things at the festival that we've eaten, and it's certainly not worth that. Italy, what is up? Via Napoli's like one of both our favorite restaurants in all of Walt Disney World.
Amazing.
I cannot say Italy redeemed itself.
I agree. We're at another redemption booth. This time it is the ALPS. Last time there's a little bit too much going on with that raclette cheese, but this time the ham and raclette.
Sticking with a classic.
Absolutely. Could be some redemption time.
This is the warm raclette cheese, which is that cheese that they scrape off the wheel directly onto the plate. It's got the ham, baby potatoes, little pickly things, and a baguette. Like Alan said last time, it was too much going on. It had the pears and the figs, and it was like a whole charcuterie board in one, and it didn't work. But we're excited to have ALPS hopefully redeem itself. Cheese cheers.
Cheese cheers. That's better. This dish shines because it is simple. It knows what it is, and it knows what it wants to be, and it moves in one direction. You got the cheese and the ham that are playing off each other with just enough salty and richness that cut through each other and make it worth it. And the pickle adds just enough acidity to kind of offset that.
Plus, these are really nice little baby potatoes. This isn't anything dazzling flavor-wise. Again, it's very, very simple. I do think there are better cheese dishes throughout the festival. However, I think ALPS, you've redeemed yourself.
Redemption. Well, I think that was actually a really good dish. The ALPS redeemed themselves, which is exactly what we wanted, right, Malls? 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 Okay. You got it.
I got it. We didn't get it last time. This is the Schlicken Noodlen Gratin.
Samsonite.
I don't know how to say it. I know it's a delicious brick of baked macaroni and cheese with ham from the Germany Pavilion. It's just a brick of noodles and cheese. This is way better than the mac and cheese booth. If you're gonna get a mac and cheese type dish, this one.
That's really good.
It's familiar because it's mac and cheese, but it's just a little bit unique enough that it makes it feel different. This would also be a good thing for your picky eaters, for your kids. This is a great dish. It's also very hearty, and you get a lot for the price.
This is a shareable item for sure. One thing that I think is really unique about this is that it is compressed. The noodles themselves were cooked perfectly and then filled with this custard of cheese. It's almost like a bechamel that is pressed and then has this beautiful cheese layer over top. I adore that.
Yeah. I said it was on my Best of the Fest last video, even though we didn't even eat it, just knowing it had been good every other year. And this cements that this deserves a Best of the Fest spot.
For sure.
Also, this new Germany musical percussion act is here, and they are crushing. Excuse me, ma'am. Has a child ever tried to kick you?
Not today.
Because if you're the same duck, we're in the same spot. I'm sorry about that. We love you. Do you think they're ever gonna change Reflections of China to Wondrous China, the Circle Vision movie they've been saying they're gonna change for years?
No, I don't. I think that it is going to remain an urban legend for all time.
I want them to change it because the current one is cringy.
It's not great. Yeah.
Speaking of not great, the China booth last time we were here.
Oh, I see what you did there. Well done.
Thank
Professional
you.
over here.
Thank you. I do what I can. But yeah, China was a disappointment last time. They changed the pot stickers and hope that the beef bun does a better job.
Yeah. I know what you're thinking. We've been eating on an awful lot of tables this time around, but don't worry. It wouldn't be a food and wine visit without some eating on a trash can. At China this time around, we are trying the Mongolian beef bao bun with what looks to be some grilled onion. We have high hopes for this because I imagine it already looks better than the pan-fried chicken dumplings.
Speak for yourself. I have very mid expectations based on the dumplings.
All right, we're trying to be positive, but you're right. Better?
That's better.
Okay. Oh yeah, significantly better.
My complaint about this is that much like the dumplings, it's dry. It needs more sauce. I don't think it has any sauce on it.
Bao buns are something that when they are fresh, they are incredible. You can tell that this bao bun has been prepared and is sat for just a little bit because it started to get just a tad, the slightest bit hard on the edges. I think fresh this would be a lot better, but still, it needs a sauce.
Yeah, the beef is very good, nice and tender. The onion is really good and adds that natural sweetness, but it needs some kind of sauce. Do you think China redeemed itself?
No.
No.
It's a bit of a womp womp.
Almost.
Yeah.
You almost redeemed yourself.
Good try, China. Good try.
We have just enough time, it looks like, before the storm sets in, and just enough money on our gift cards to hit one more booth, and it just so happens there's one more brand new booth, the Noodle Exchange.
What?
The Noodle Exchange.
Noodles, yeah.
Noodle Exchange. But here you're going to find a variety of pho and other Asian-inspired noodles. Very excited about this one, too.
And for our final dish, we are having the traditional spicy Vietnamese beef pho with shaved beef, mushrooms, and some Thai basil. And I am looking forward to wrapping this video with happy soup belly. All right, show us how good you are with chopsticks.
I'm amazing with chopsticks.
Mm-hmm. You're nailing it. Great arm work. Oh, yeah, this is a new round of noodles. Oh, what a unique approach. 10 out of 10. Well done. Good?
Are you... Delicious.
Incredibly good.
A lot of food for $5.50 too. I'm surprised at how big of a serving this is.
This is one of the only times I'll say that EPCOT is saying a dish is spicy, and it actually has some spice to it, which never happens with Disney food, really.
No, this definitely has a little bit of heat. It's not super overwhelmingly spicy, but if you're incredibly spice averse, I would avoid it and maybe try one of the other varieties of noodle. Like I said, it's a huge portion. I think it's cooked really well. The lime adds some nice acidity. You've got some sweetness from that Thai basil, but then it counteracts with the spice.
I think the biggest thing to mention here, because a lot of people who really know pho and have had a lot of good pho, is the broth. If you are used to really high quality pho from a restaurant who specializes in it, this might not be the same caliber you're looking for, but for a booth in EPCOT that is mass producing pho, this is pretty darn good broth. Yeah, I think this goes on the best of the fest for me.
Whoa.
Yeah, happy soup belly.
Ending on a high. Well, we did it. Another budgeted day at Food and Wine for $100. We went to 13 more booths and we ended with 50 cents. So we did it.
Yeah.
Which leads us, again, best pro tip for this festival is look ahead and plan what you want to eat so that way you, one, don't fill up too quickly on things you don't like, and two, you have a good budget in mind.
So, let's go to the best of the fest. What were yours?
Ooh, new additions to my best of the fest include that seafood dip from Coastal Eats.
Yeah.
Hot fish on a hot day, didn't matter, it was delicious. The poutine totally redeemed itself with that braised beef in the boursin. I thought that was really good this time. Of course, the pork slider in Hawaii is going to make it again, and I solidified that the noodles from Germany deserve a spot.
True. For me, it was, of course, the pork slider from Hawaii.
Shocking.
Followed by the pho from the noodle booth. And then, surprisingly enough, I think it's the strawberry tea beverage from Earth Eats.
The like freeze slush thing.
Yeah, the slushy. It was so good and refreshing especially on this hot day.
Yeah, it was very nice. But what would you not eat again? What is your worst of the fest today?
It's not something I wouldn't eat. It's something I would never drink again, and it was that red fruit beer from Belgium. Ugh.
Tasted like cough syrup.
It's not great. Robitussin.
You don't like that?
No, not for a beer.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I will shout out to the wit beer, though. That was one of my favorite beers I had. For me, I would say the Italy gnocchi. I don't know what's going on in Italy. Your festival food is just not good, and I want it to be so badly, but...
It was $9.
Yeah, that's definitely a no from me, so... Hopefully this was helpful and you learned about some new dishes that you can try or not if you're coming to Epcot's Food and Wine Festival.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on socials, and join the club.
Until next time, friends, it's been magical, it's been delicious. Now go watch our first Food and Wine video.
In reverse.
Yeah.
Nice.